We are live. Hey guys, how's it going? Um, Apologies for the little delay there. I did not realize my driver needed some updating, so of course, as I was about to begin the stream, so yep. Oh, and I brought a little photo for you guys to enjoy, the Halo Encyclopedia Arbiter or slash Covenant chapter cover, which looks pretty good. But yeah, welcome guys to the oh man, I think the fourth or fifth Covenant Canon Discord live stream where I answer all your questions from the Discord section. If you don't know where my Discord is, it's in the description below. And if you want to learn how to submit your questions, simple. It's in the Q&A submission. If you want to ask any questions related to the Covenant, personal, or anything else, as long as it's appropriate, not anything weird like my house or my bed or my door. I've had some questions about that in the past, and just want to establish some boundaries. Please don't do that. But yeah, so we are going to be playing through Halo 3 while I answer some of your questions because I haven't played Halo 3 in a while. And yeah, let's get right to it. Let me just pop up my Discord here so I can answer all your lovely questions while also checking out the... here we go. Oh, there we are. There we go. Oh, also, if you guys notice any sort of interruptions or anything like that throughout the stream, please let me know in the live chat so I can rectify it as best I can. Okay, here we go. And I'm obviously playing on the Ark because I love this level. So our first question comes from Doraldama. Love the name. Number 1, can you tell us the difference between a Sangheili Major and a Sangheili Officer? From my understanding, a Sangheili Officer is higher ranking than a Major. Number 2, if playable elites were to return, what type of armor would you like to see return? Except the obvious Halo Infinite armor. And number 3, besides Nakai, what would be your top 5 original characters you ever created? If so, can you please tell us about them? Okay, so to answer number 1, there's no obvious differences between the Major and Officer. They're both part of the Obedientary Order, which is basically a command structuring from Major, Officer, Commander, all that sort of thing. And for number 2, if I were to like elites to return, honestly, I would like to see all the armors from the previous games mashed into one, like from Halo CE all the way to Reach, or not Reach, Halo 5, honestly. I would love to see also armors that we haven't seen thus far in the games or in the multiplayer, like Honor Guard or Arbiter armor. I would very much like to see also a Counselor armor. And what else? Oh, I would also like to see some armor from ancillary media that we've seen from the Encyclopedia or any other game. Oh, got a flare. But yeah. What else? Oh, I would also like to see the USA Zealous / Halo, like the before release Sangheili armor that we saw in Halo CE before its final release. And what else? I think that's it for that. But as to the last question you asked, Doral, I think my favorite character that I made besides from Nakai, I don't know. I think I think my favorite of all of them, besides from Nakai, is Stromidus, a brute, a banished chieftain that I brought up in like in early banished videos, but I haven't really utilized him that much recently. I'm still working on how to best implement him. I kind of want to make a story where he and Nakai come to blows, kind of like Azog and Thorin from the Hobbit movies. But I'm still working on how to make them encounter one another and make it seem natural to the canon. But yeah. Other than Stromidus, I do like the recent Brute AI that I created for the Banished Rank video, Simultus. I'm definitely planning on using him for future stuff. And lastly, I would say Katar, Nakai's wife. I kind of want to make her kind of like a mix between Catelyn Stark from Game of Thrones and Lagatha from Vikings. But yeah. Oh, before I go on to more questions, let me take care of these Mecha Let Go Low. Ah. And yes, I have it on infinite ammo. I don't care if I'm a scrub. I want to play this for fun, not for skill. Ugh. Ah. Okay, now we take care of that. Okay, so Doraldama. Okay, Okay, so Shipmaster Tyra Vagam. Sorry if I butchered your name there, my friend. Can Sangheili be born with physical abilities? And if that's possible, what would... Oh wait, hold on. Let me read out this question one more time. Sorry about that. Can Sangheili to be born with physics ability? If it could be possible, what would Nakai or other Sangheili think of such arts? Oh, psychic ability. Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, it's a Sunday and I'm already losing my mind. Psychic ability, I don't like if that was ever a thing, I doubt the Sangheili would look favorably on it, seeing as because the Sangheili favor more martial and equal footing. So if Sangheili were born with a psychic ability, they would probably want to discourage the use of it, as they want to be fair with other Sangheili, really. Okay, so Shipmaster asked again, what are Nakai's thoughts of demons in human scripture or other types of written folklore? I think you would find the notions of the demons of human literature kind of fascinating, honestly. I think I think when it comes to human culture in general, like folklore and their history, I think he just finds them fascinating, considering the fact that they are, for the most part, very similar to the Sangheili. Obviously with differences, but with some notable similarities. Whoa, hold on. Let me take care of some of these dudes. Oh, and before I answer more of the Discord questions, Jedi Spartan, I loved Rubicon Protocol. It was so, like, a really gritty war story set between the Spartan, or the Halo Infinite audio logs. They were just fantastic, and I really want to see a follow-up story to that book. Obviously, there wasn't much Banished stuff. Well, there was Banished stuff, but not enough for me to make a full-fledged video on it like I would with Shadows of Reach or Divine Wind. So I obviously didn't make a video on that, but Yeah, obviously, it's honestly one of my favorite books from Kelly Gay. While I like her previous books with Ryan Forge and her crew, I didn't really like the Firefly type of storytelling that those books had. Didn't really phase with me, honestly. They were good. Let me make no mistake. They were obviously really freaking good. I just connect more with gritty war stories like Rubicon Protocol did. It was like it was really into the psyche of the UNSC that were stranded on Zeta Halo. Okay. So, let me just move on to rest. Defiant Xeno. Oh, hold on. Let me take care of this Prowler. Come on. Oh, come on. Really? Oh, come on. You suck. Oh my god, I suck with this thing. There we go. Sorry about that. Okay, so Defiant Xeno asks, in perspective, what is Nakai Vodar like now that his keep was raided by Kara Valir and a piece of the Banished he brought with him? And to Nakai, what makes the ORS your favorite class of ship? And to the Kaidan of Vodar, what are all the brutes like and feel when Cortana or... Wait, what? Hold on, let me read out this question, the last one better. To the Kaidan of Vodar, what are all the brutes like and feel when Cortana, or as I call her now, the traitor, destroyed Doisak? So, okay. So, to your first question, Xeno, Kara Valir never raided Vodar. We'll make that very clear right now, and I will not support that notion. As to your second question, I really like the ORS because it's a great mix between the CCS and the CAS. Like it's like the perfect love child between them, and I just love. Oh, hold on. I'm gonna take over that. There we go. Took that chopper. Okay. So what was I? But yeah, I think the reason why I love the ORS is, like I said, it's a perfect mix between the ORS, or not the ORS, the CCS and the CAS, and the lore behind it as being an honored ship within the Covenant. I honestly love that notion, and pretty much any shipmaster that would have that ship would have a sign of status. But beyond that, it just looks honestly really good. And to the second question, brutes are really dang pissed off about destroying Doisak. That's why in Rubicon Protocol, most brute clans are really pissed off at the remaining banished humans in the let me correct myself. That's what the destruction of Doisak is pretty much why the Banished, for the most part, or brute clans within the Banished are pissed off at the remaining humans within the Banished. So yeah, they're dang pissed off. Okay, so let me just pause this right here so I can scroll on down and get some more stuff from here. Okay. Alright, so Doraldama asks, what can you tell us about the females of the Covenant race? Both what their roles they carry and atomical differences. Well, we don't know much. Well, obviously the female Sangheili stay on Sanghelios to protect their eggs and their home and their keeps, in case of any other clan would think to attack them. And beyond that, there's no female role in Covenant military. Sanshayum, we do know a little bit that females do have have some sort of equality, as one of the hierarchs, like one of the hierarchs that preceded Truth and Mercy and Regret, was female. I don't quite remember what her name was by accounts, but I do know she was female. So in Sanshayum society, they can't become a hierarch. Yanmei, obviously they're queens. Brutes, they're probably in the same category as the Sangheili, just staying home, taking care of their young. But, and I think for grunts, it's pretty much the same thing also. There's not much female involvement in Covenant military tactics. I don't think so. Beyond just simply training their warriors and... Oh. Oh, I forgot. Oh! Oh, where am I going? Okay, I'm just gonna follow these guys. Okay, I know where I'm going now. It's been a while since I've done this. But yeah, beyond simple training of young and all that, the only differences with the other Covenant races is... Oh yes, thank you, CIA. Kigyar females also do have a level of autonomy in the Covenant military. Kigyar shipmistresses, there are Kigyar female shipmistresses in Covenant Navy. So, thank you for reminding me, CIA. I completely forgot about that. But yeah, beyond that, there's not much going on with the other Covenant races in their female lines. Not really. Okay, so Alistair 6531 asks, how do you imagine what the Covenant thinks of humans' religions like Christianity, Islam, and the other ones? I think obviously they're heretical, honestly, because they all like, because in their minds any other religion is heresy and blasphemy. And it was briefly mentioned in Silent Storm from Nizak Kevarosi that the humans worship many religions and a good many of them practice none. And the prophets of the minor minister of Artifact Survey pretty much said that's why the prophets denied them a place in the Covenant, pretty much. So obviously the Covenant doesn't really think highly of humankind's faiths. Okay, so Connor Lawson asks, what would Nakai's favorite Earth animal be if he could choose one? The dog. If not the dog, then the wolves, because he considers them like loyal pack hunters that follow one another without hesitation. But other than the wolves and dogs and all that, maybe crocodiles, because he considers them to be the closest reptilian predator that he, I guess, respects. I don't really necessarily have a definitive answer for that one. But yeah. Okay, so Divine Xeno asks, to Nakai, in Halo Infinite, where are the Banished Drop Pods coming from, and what's the Banished Dreadnought that's above the sky, and what's the Banished Dreadnought that's up in the sky just staying there? I think that Dreadnought, to answer your second question, actually, the second question kind of answers your first question, honestly. The drop pods pretty much come from that specific banished ship. And as to why it's there, probably just to keep an eye on the island, as it's like the most heavily protected banished, or the most heavily protected location on Zeta Halo at the time. But other than that, I think that's just about it, just to protect a vitally important section of the ring. Okay. So, Doraldama asks, what is your top 5 favorite Covenant remnants? Number 2, what are some Covenant, be it Sangheili, Jirohana, etc., foods and drinks that we know about? Number 3, what can you tell us about Sully Neon's Covenant? And he does ask some other questions, such as what are your opinions on Sangheili armor? Oh. What are your opinions of Sangheili armor from the Halo TV show? And can you see them being a more ancient Sangheili harness that the Sangheili wear back at the founding of the Covenant? And his second question after that is, so with the show having Kigyar using energy daggers and energy shields, would you like them to have their own separate type of rank or group or other standing within the Kigyar equipped with energy daggers? And his final question is thoughts on Maki and her, albeit very confusing, energy nail. So, to your first question, my top 5 favorite Covenant remnants is at number 1, the Swords of St. Helios, because I obviously love the Arbiter and his group. Their lore is just so fascinating to me. Second is the Banished, because they're the most unique out of all the Covenant remnant groups. Hold on one moment. Let me just take care of some of these ghosts here. Alright. Oh, taking Hunter. Wait. There it is. Alright, let me take care of this Phantom. I miss the... I honestly miss when... Before I continue, I just want to say I miss the level of destruction you could do with Covenant Covenant stuff, like the Phantoms. That was just so satisfying. But as to my other favorite Covenant remnant groups, I would say, oh man, that's a very, beyond the Sword of St. Helios and the Banished, I guess Doraldama's group. What else? The Servants of the Abiding Truth, obviously. And I think the Hekabe's clan from Halo Envoy, the Children of Meridoth, I think it's called. Or not the Children of Meridoth, the Voice of Meridoth. I think that's what they're called. Okay. Let me just think right now. I think the last one, is... Oh, no, I think that's it, actually. And to your second question, we do know that there is one, we don't really know much about Sangheili beverages or any cuisine or anything like that, but we do know from Bad Blood that they actually very appealing to humans, so that's something. But beyond that, nothing really much, really. Oh, we also know that there's we know that there's a Jirohana beverage that's apparently very toxic to other races. And that was introduced in Halo Broken Circle. And for San Shayum, I think there's specific teas with particular spices and all that stuff. But like I said, there's not really there's no notable named cuisines or beverages that we know of, at least to my knowledge. And for number 3, for Sully Neon's Covenant, it's fine. I actually quite liked the idea of Jules Covenant splintering into a little civil war, their own great schism in a way. I just wish he had more to do with the escalation comics, really. But from what I can gather from Halo, the Encyclopedia, he is building up his Covenant. So, I mean, we'll only time will tell what will become of his Covenant. I imagine at best we'll see them in a book, maybe a comic. I can't promise anything beyond that. And as to your TV show questions, I thought the TV show Sangheili armors were good. They weren't terrible, as people think. And yeah, I could definitely see them being early Covenant armor for the elites at the founding of the Covenant. I mean, hell, I wouldn't be surprised if the new elite armors from Broken Circle at the beginning of Broken Circle were in fact from the TV show. I wouldn't be surprised at that at all. And for your second question regarding the TV show, there's a Proto Scarab. Okay.
Heads up, Marines. You got trouble.
Oh, hold on. Whoa. Get out. And then get in. Okay. As to your second question regarding the Jackals and the Energy Daggers, yeah, I could definitely see them being more of a melee type of subclass in Kigyar society. It wouldn't be out of the question, really. And for the last question for the TV show, Maki's energy nail was kind of weird for me. I mean, it's kind of not absurd that there could be an energy nail for a particular human that joins the Covenant. I mean, it's not unheard. I wouldn't think that would be entirely unheard of for like a Sangheili or a San Shayum, like diplomat or something like that. But I mean, that's all I have to say on that. Really. Okay, so Defiant Xeno asks, to Vodar, what would... okay, hold on, let me break myself. To Vodar, what would everyone who would... Okay, hold on. I need to read this question. Okay. To Vodar, what would everyone would feel if 343 were to remove 3 things from Halo for a week, like Jackal Sniper, all UNSC pistols from the game? Oh, how would everyone feel if 343 removed 3 things from Halo for like a week, like Jackal Snipers, all UNSC pistols from all Halo games, and beam rifles? You honestly... I think you already know the questions of that, Xeno. People would get mad. They would throw a hissy fit. They would not take it kindly. I can guarantee you that they would not take it very well. So, I think you already know that, what the answer to that kind of question would be. So, okay, let me just pause ahead so I can scroll on down and see what other questions y'all have for me. All right. So, from Doraldama, for the Sangheili, what clan/keeps would you like to see return in either game, media, or extended universe, books, etc.? Other Sangheili clans I would like to see? I would love to see the Usans make a return, from in the games, or not in the games, more like in a sequel book. I honestly found their subculture really interesting. But beyond that, I wouldn't mind seeing more members of the Vadam Clan. Wouldn't mind seeing them make a return. Beyond just the Arbiter. Oh, I just lit my... Oh, what the... What the hell was that? Oh, please tell me you guys saw that. Oh, Jesus. Scarab just took out its own dudes. Oh, come on. Let me board that one. Oh, come on. Come on. Come on. No. Come on, let me board you. I always try to board these things mid-flight. But beyond... But as to, like I said before, beyond the Usans, I wouldn't mind seeing the other members of the Vadam Clan besides from Thel. Maybe see more of, what's his name? Oh, what is it? Rajka Kesan's clan. I wouldn't mind seeing those guys make a see more of his guys. Oh, let me just pepper this thing with rockets. I want to see if I can take this thing out as it's moving without even boarding the thing. Yeah, I'm probably not going to succeed. Oh, come on.
Back plating looks vulnerable. Light it up.
Oh, hold on. But yeah, beyond that, there's not really other St. Healy clans I can think of presently that I would like to see make a return. Beyond just the Usans and maybe extended Arbiter clan and possibly Rajka Kesan's clan. Alright, so from Alistair, he asked... Oh, hold on. Ah! Jesus. There we go. Okay, so Alistair asked, how was Grunt and Brute Society like during the Forerunner era? I have no idea, guys. I have no idea about that. I have no knowledge on Forerunner era society for other races of the Covenant. They haven't really told us much beyond the beyond the San Shayum. There's not really much to know. Oh, hold on. Let me take care of this scarab. Sorry, worms. Oh, wait, it's already exploding? Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, there we go. Okay. Oh, jeez.
Not bad, Spartan. I saw that explosion from orbit.
Thank you, Urtas. Love you, boo. Okay. Where is it? Okay, so Doraldama asked, what enemies / vehicles would you like to see from the Banished in Halo Wars 2 make a return in Halo Infinite? And possibly, what notable characters from the Banished in Halo Wars 2 would you like to see? I would love to see the Blister Packs come into the campaign, honestly. I love those vehicles. They were honestly so well designed, and I wouldn't mind seeing the skimmers, the little Legolo walker things move about. They would make pretty interesting enemies to fight. But as to enemies, I wouldn't mind encountering Pavium of Vortis in Halo Infinite. Impossible as that might be. Or maybe Shipmaster Let Valir, if they somehow manage to lead the Ark. But about that, I don't think there's any other. Okay, so moving on to Alistair. Do you imagine the Whaling Yutani Corporation taking an interest and try to weaponize the Flood like they did with the Xenomorphs? Yeah, I can definitely see them doing something like that. Like, hell, only tried doing that same thing too. With the Flood, they tried to do that same thing with Aiden Smith. He tried doing the same thing. So, I could definitely see Whaling Yutani doing the same thing. Or hell, they might even do that with some Forerunner machines, like with the Sentinels, or even hell, even monitors like Spark here. But yeah. Okay, so Defiant Xeno asks, are hunters cute, and would Spartan Palmer get demoted by Captain Lasky for disobeying orders not to kill Halsey? I don't like, as to their first question, yeah, they're cute. Like, they're obviously cute. I mean, come on. Who doesn't love those big, worm-like things that can crush you with one fist? And as to the second question, I don't think so. I think she would definitely get a reprimand, but not demotion. As it was the head of Oni that pretty much ordered the hit on Halsey in the first place. So if anyone was gonna get demoted, it would have been Lasky. If Palmer didn't cover for him. Oh. How did that not kill him? Hold on. One moment. Okay, so next question to Superbro TV asks, what's Nakai's favorite food? Pizza. Okay, moving on. Yeah, but no, in all seriousness, I honestly don't. If I knew more about St. Hilly food, I could give you a definitive answer, but we honestly don't. But, I mean, it wouldn't be out of the question that they might have Duramir meat, maybe? I mean, they have fur of Duramir. Wouldn't be impossible for them to have some pallets, kind of like how Klingons do for Targs. But beyond that, can't give you a definitive answer there, Super. Sorry. Okay, so moving on. Saku. Oh, I'm sorry if I butchered your name there. Sakupola 360 asks, did you measure the? Oh, I'm not answering that question. Sorry. I as I said in the beginning, I'm not gonna answer very stupid, any personal questions like that. Sorry. So Defiant Xeno asks, would Sally's Covenant clash with the Banished if they were raiding one of their facilities? Yeah, because Sally's Covenant pretty much follows, like, the ways of the Covenant, and pretty much the Banished hate anything related to the Covenant. So yeah, they would definitely clash in a battle, at least. Oh, hold on, let me take care of some of these Kigyar. Okay. So, Alistair asks, do you feel that Halo has become a PG-13 or less violent, or are there still stuff that's considered M for mature? In a way, yes. I do feel like Halo has become a little more PG-13, but in all fairness, let's be honest. Aside from the Flood, there really wasn't really much to justify its M rating. Let's be very honest here, guys. The swearing was PG-13 minimum. There wasn't really much gore beyond the Flood stuff. And
I will help your sergeant clear the sky.
oh, bye, Fel. Okay. But I mean, it does have potential to go M. I mean, Rubicon Protocol makes the Banished really brutal. There's some stuff at the Redoubt of Sundering and the Tower that really makes it into kind of a Holocaust kind of game, or maybe a short film. I mean, shit. There's some stuff there that turns like it has like psychological warfare stuff. Like, it's really grim. I mean, it definitely has the potential to be mature if it ever wanted to take that route. But we'll see. Honestly, in my opinion, though, Halo has been very lenient on the M rating in its opening in the original trilogy. Let's be honest here. But I think it's fine for what it is now, really, in terms of the M rating and PG-13 ratings. Oh, let me take care of these stalkers, which, if you guys haven't seen my Banished video, are part of the Banished. Okay, so Super Bro TV asks, how do you think the Sangheili would interact with races like the Cabal or the Mandalorians? Sorry if a similar question was already asked. No, there wasn't another question asked like this. I don't know the Cabal. I don't have any knowledge on them, but the Mandalorians, I think this, like, if I were to give an educational guess, I would definitely suggest that, like the Jedi, I think the Mandalorians would definitely have clashed with the Sangheili. But I think both groups would have a begrudging respect to one another, as they both are warriors and they both have a sense of honor. I think, given their tendencies for raiding, like Death Watch, I think they might categorize them kind of like brutes, maybe? But not so with much begrudging hatred. Oh. Flame on!
Hey, Chief, we're on our way.
Sorry. I know your name. I know this dude has a name, but I can't remember at the top of my head. Oh, okay, I'm using my rockets. I know that brute had a name, but I do not know his name. Ah! Okay, hold on. Before I kill these jump brutes, I gotta take care. Before I answer more questions, I gotta take care of these guys. There we go. Okay. All right. What was I about to... Okay, so...
Stand by for pickup.
Oh, before I answer more questions, guys, I gotta apologize. I gotta go to the boys' room for a moment. I gotta take a real big doozy, if you guys know if you catch my drift. Sorry. Be right back in one moment. All right, I am back. Sorry about that, guys. All right, so let me just scroll on down here so I can get a good thing here. Okay. So, Kamen Knight asks, what would Nakai's reaction to... Okay, hold on. What would Nakai's reaction to a wacky inflatable man, those long balloon men that are normally marked with a car dealership is? He would kind of find that ridiculous, honestly. I don't really know beyond... Like, I think he would just find it ridiculous as some meaningless Earth toy, really, honestly. But moving on. Sakupola 360 asks, what is better, VK music or Vandex music? I don't know any of those, so I'm just gonna say neither. Moving on. Okay, so Doraldama asks, would you like to see a Sangheili or for sorts of Sanghelios inspired armor for Ungoi and Legolo forms? We already have, well, kind of. We kind of have armor for Ungois seen in Halo 5. From wherever we travel about the Sword of Sanghelios encampment in Alliance and Before the Storm. Oh. All right. So let me. Oh, Cameron. I don't think so, Cameron. I think I marked the questions as I have before. I don't think I've answered your questions before, Cameron. But if I have, whatever. Okay. What was I saying? Back to Dural's question. But as to the Legolo, I would very much like to see their own unique spin on Legolo armor. Like for specific hunters or anything like that. That would be definitely cool to see. But beyond that, I can't really have a good definitive answer as to what their specific armor would look like for me. Oh, hold on, let me take care of some of these brutes. Oh. There we go. All right, so Super Rov asks, oh, that's not really a question. Oh, okay, yes, this is a question. Super Bro TV asks, kind of a goofy one, but what do you think a Blemite tastes like? Very explodey. Very explodey. Explodes in your mouth. Oh. Oh wait, I might have actually answered some of those questions. Whatever, I'm answering them again. All right, come on, War Chief, let's go. And this isn't the same as the War Chiefs from Halo Infinite. Nah, this isn't Escherum. All right, take care of you. All right, so
Hostile anti-air has been neutralized.
Kamanite asks, how do you keep track / remember all the elite alien races names? Oh, okay. How do you keep track of all the alien races in Halo? As I can barely hear I barely hear you call any of them by their class or rank names. Pretty much it's been years of practice, really. I've been so used to calling them by their actual race names instead of elites, grunts, jackals, brutes. And honestly, I think it's more authentic that way. Honestly, to be more politically accurate. But that's just me. Oh yes, I think I have actually answered some of these questions. 'Cause I do remember, because Sakupola asked about 14th century cannons. Hold on. I I think I might have answered most of these. I apologize, guys. Hold on. Let me just see if I can find the specific one that I have not answered. Yep, Cameron, I probably am. I think I'm a little behind on my questions right now. I apologize. Oh, okay. Okay, I think I found the right ones. I apologize. Okay, so Supreme Commander has asked, hello, how are you doing today? I am doing very well, Supreme Commander. I hope you are well also, considering the fact that I smashed you yesterday in the, in our game night session last night, especially with the Speed Halo slash Mouse Hunter thing, or Duck Hunter game mode that we had. And he asked, also, are there any Covenant holdouts slash colonies who didn't hear that the war was over and the Covenant no longer exists? Yes, one, Heshadoros. In the Kilo 5 books, Jules and Dhamma arrived on Heshadoros where the population had no idea the Covenant collapsed and the war was over. They thought it was still raging on. That's how Jules was able to found his Covenant there. But beyond Heshadoros, I don't think there's any other Covenant colonies that don't know the Covenant war was over. But I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if there actually was, considering the fact that there were probably many Covenant holdouts that probably didn't know the war was over. So, for all we know, there are some Covenant colonies that didn't know about the Great Schism and the Covenant's collapse. Oh, hold on. Let me just move around a second. Let me just take care of some of these pesky Covenant here. Come on, turret, take it out. There we go. Oh, damn it. God damn it. Alright, so let me just move on to the next question. Supreme Commander asks, has Nakai's clan been up to against okay, hold on, let me ask this question again. Oh my god.
Concentrate on driving. I got this. I'm wearing out shoe leather. Let me in.
Okay. So has Nakai okay, so Supreme Commander Cam Alamont oh my god, like I said, I'm out of my mind right now. Supreme Commander Karn Va Alamate Supreme Commander Cam Va Alamai, I'm just gonna go on that. Has Nakai's clan been up against any other strong clans in more modern times? No. I don't think so. I don't think Nakai's clan has really contested with any other Sangheili clan beyond Vodar. There is some other stuff in War Torn that's gonna be up against some of his own clans. There's gonna be some, I wouldn't say rebellion, but some Game of Thrones conspiracies. Let's just put it like that. Oh! Hold on. Let me check out this Wraith. Actually, I'm gonna board this thing. Oh! Am I, or am I dead? Nope. Come on. I want to board it. There we go. Got on the Wraith now. Now I can take care of things my way. All right. Oh. There we go. Yeah, screw you. Okay. Moving on. Alistair asks, how do you think what level designer Okay. How do you think what level of danger Godzilla and Godzilla Kaijus got inflicted? Okay, I'm sorry. I can't read today. I apologize, guys. Alistair asks, how do you think what level of danger of Godzilla or any Godzilla-like kaiju got affected by the flood? How much of a danger they would be? They would probably be a level catastrophe, really. They, like, if any Godzilla-like creature got infected by the flood, we would pretty much be screwed to the pooch. Because they would pretty much be twice the size of a grave mine. Let's just put it like that. But yeah, if any creature at all got infected like the flood, like Godzilla, there would be no hope. We would already be dead. Oh, jeez. Okay. Jesus. Get off. There we go. There we go. Here we go. All right. Oh, okay. The meta. You can ask your questions in the Covenant Canon Discord. If you don't know where the Discord is, the link is in the description below, and you can submit your questions in the community category and in the Q&A submission section. All right. So Doraldama asks several questions, actually. Number 1, please, for the love of God, explain the Tavawan. Please, for the love of God, explain that Tavawan aren't dead after Reach. I'm so tired of explaining this to my friends over and over. Number 2, while we've seen Routian and Tavawan skirmishers, would there be Ibishan skirmishers as well? And 3, who's your favorite Sangheili within the Banished and why? And number 4, do you want to see the following in Halo Infinite as mini bosses, and if so, why? Grunt Goblins, Goliaths, and Scarabs. And his final question is, if you could make a Halo Infinite campaign DLC, what would it be about, and who would you want to have as protagonist and antagonist? Okay, so number 1, the Tavawans, they're not dead. Bungie has, on some Bungie forum, it has implied they have gone extinct at the Reach, but that's not the case. They are alive and plentiful, just like any other Kigyar. Actually, several make an appearance in ancillary media, like in Escalation, in Kelly Gay's Rubicon, or not Rubicon, in Kelly Gay's Ace of Spades trilogy of books, in, I believe, the Kilo 5 books. I can't be sure about that one, though. And what else? I think that's it in terms of Tavawan appearances in other ancillary material. But yes, the Tavawans aren't dead. They're just out there doing their own thing, like the Brutes were before Infinite. Okay. Let me just... Alright. As to your second question, it's definitely possible we could see Ibishan skirmishers. It's not out of the question at all, really. Oh! I mean, if Routian can possess the skirmisher rank like Tavawans can, I mean, it's not out of the question for Ibishans to do the same as well. To your third question, my favorite Sangheili within the Banished right now is Jaga Urdamnai. I love his appearance. I love his basically ruthless persona, and pretty much his lack of care for St. Healy Customs, really, given the fact that he has a prosthetic arm. As to number 4, I would love to see the Grunt Goblins in Infinite's campaign. Like, in Warzone, in Halo 5's Warzone, they were really fun to play, really. If not a little annoying at times. But I would love to see also Scarabs come back as well. And for Goliaths, I mean, it's not impossible we can have something like that happening. We had the Gutas in Halo Reach's campaign, if only for a short time. Okay, time to Blazer you. Yes, he is alive, and he's gonna kill you. There we go.
Chief, find the tower controls and shut it down.
Okay. Before I do that, let me answer the last question. So to the 5th question, yeah, I would very much like to see another DLC for Infinite's campaign. I would love to see I would like to see a banished warlord trying to rally the banished on the on Zeta Halo to become like a new Eshram, and kind of setting up Atriox's possible return in campaign. And aside from Master Chief, maybe Lucas Browning, or if he is still alive, or maybe Spartan Horvath, seeing as he is alive also. As far as we know, really. But beyond that, I can't really give any specifics as to an Infinite DLC beyond like Atriox's return.
Get in, sir.
But yeah, that's it for that. Let me just pause so I can move on to other questions. Whoa, come on. Okay, so Brutus, Lord of the Nile, asks, oh, that's not really a question. Okay, so Prelate Bard asks, I can't pronounce your last name there, I'm sorry. Hold on, let me just take care of this. Alright, I'm just gonna let some of my Marine buddies hop in. Actually, no, I'm not gonna let them hop in. I'm just gonna bail out. Okay. So Prelate asks, do you think an interaction between Nakai and Atriox would go in a scenario they meet face to face? If I can think of a scenario where Nakai and Atriox were to meet face to face, it would have to be before the events of Halo Wars 2, considering the fact that Atriox left for the Ark. And a face to face, I don't really see that happening with Nakai, because he's more in line with the Arbiter's ideologies more than Atriox's. But I mean, if there were to be an introduction, I think Nakai would hear out Atriox. But I think beyond that, he obviously wouldn't join Atriox's cause. Oh, how do I lift up? I forgot how to do this. How do I go? How do I go up? Nope, that didn't work. Oh man, the controls for this thing is so... how do I lift up? Damn it. I forget how to do this. I need help, guys in chat. Oh, how did I do that? No! Okay, there we go. Sorry about that. Oh, hey, Wemising? I'm sorry, I can't pronounce your name, but hey, Art of Halo. It's good to see you, man. I'm sorry if I can't pronounce your name. I'm really crap with pronunciations. Yeah. How's it going, man? I'm glad you'd be able to pop on here. Okay. So, moving on to the questions at hand. Alistair asks, would you like to see a fractured world to be explained more, like some enemies be also like historical factions they fought? The Spartan... Hold on. Hang on. Let me read this better. How would you like to see the fractured worlds be explored more, like maybe have some enemies be also like historical factions that fought the Spartan armor influence in real history, or maybe have either forerunner or precursors be like gods of various mythologies of their respective cultures the armors are based off. Honestly, I've never really cared for fractures that much. I never really gave them much thought, so I mean, having them be more in line with like precursors being like their gods of specific, like the samurai armor Spartans and the World War II variant Spartan armors. I mean, it sounds interesting, but honestly, I honestly never really cared that much for fractured, really. So it just doesn't really appeal to me that much. Alright, hold on one moment. Let me just take care of some of these banshees before answering more questions.
Objective in sight, Commander.
Oh, come on.
Johnson or his team.
Understood.
Come on.
Chief, clear an LZ, then get inside the tower.
Come on. There we go. Alright, let me just take care of some of these banshees and I will proceed to your questions. Whoa! Come on! Okay, there we go. Ah, screw off. Alright, moving on some of these wraiths here so I can clear a path. Alright, so moving on to the questions. Supreme Commander asks, who was Itho Hezeki and what do we know about him? Itho Hezeki was basically the Sangheili executioner from Halo Wars 2 that pretty much explains the background of Atriox. He was that elite that tried to execute Atriox in the beginning during his time in the Covenant. And basically, Atriox pretty much just killed him, and pretty much that event pretty much started up the Banished. Alright, so Supreme Commander asks, does Sangheili architecture and design change in different regions? Or is it basically... Okay, hold on, let me ask that question again. Does Sangheili architecture and design change in different regions? Or is it basically a copy-paste for all regions? Based on everything we've seen thus far, there are definitely similarities in culture in different regions, the architecture, but they have their own unique spin on things, if that makes sense. Like, they have their different kind of look to it, whereas in Sunayon, it's definitely more modern, whereas in places like the Elder Council Chamber, they look more ancient, kind of like how Greek and Egyptian architecture kind of looks like as compared to it now. So I think it's not that different from how it's portrayed like so far with the encyclopedia, as it's also shares remarkable similarities with Sunayon. So like I said, I think they have a similar style, but different kind of looks also. Oh, got some Yanmei Ape. Ugh. Oh my god. Oh, and there's some Mechalacolo. Perfect, okay. Before I answer more questions, let me just take care of these guys. Oh. Ah, there we go. Okay. Right. So, Chad Sexington asks, who is the most dishonorable elite? I would say that would be Haka Sukari, who pretty much murdered Fal Chavami's wife in Halo Legends: The Duel. And aside from that, I would say Rippa Morami, who pretty much didn't really care for his fellow Sangheili's lives during the events of Halo Wars, and pretty much tried to overthrow his own Kaidan in its graphic novel. Well, it's a little mini graphic novel, I would say. Oh! And beyond that, maybe Jacob or Domni, who pretty much... Oh! Oh no! There we go.
This tower and the barrier will fall.
Alright, I'm gonna answer more questions in just one moment. Okay, so Prelate Bard asks, besides the Covenant, what alien species from other media do you like? I like Klingons from Star Trek. I think they pretty much share a similar warrior spirit, kind of like the Sangheili. What else? What other alien species do I like? I think beyond Klingons, there's not really other species from other media that I like, really. Not really that come to mind, really. All right, burn. All right, there you go.
Hit the switch, Chief, and the barrier will fall.
All right, I got it, Miranda. Shut up. Okay, so Super Bro TV asks, does Nakai have any children? He does, actually. He has a total of 3 children. First one being Ursa, his eldest daughter. She's basically kind of... She's kind of like... if I were to categorize her, I would say probably like Rhaenyra Targaryen in HBO's House of the Dragon. An independent woman who pretty much wants to carve out her own legend, but is kind of held back by the sexist, by the male predomination of Sangheili culture. He also has 2 adolescent children, 2 adolescent sons, actually, Cole and Vok. I haven't really touched on them, really, but they are still, like, considered, like, teenagers by the time, like, young teenagers by the time of Infinite. Okay, hold on. Just take care of some of these guys. Oh, come on, die. Oh, no! Sangheili! I'm sorry, my brother. Okay. Okay. Hold on. Screw off. All right. Oh, hello. Hello, my fellow Sangheili brethren. Okay, so moving on. Hold on, let me just pause here so I can scroll on ahead and get more stuff from you guys. All right. Alright, so Supreme Commander asks, are there any joint UNSC Swords and Helios teams working together? There has been, actually. In Halo Hunters in the Dark, a joint strike team organized by Entho Strom and Uze Tahan, the co-op characters from this game, actually, have joined forces with the UNSC to stop the Ark from firing again. And also, there is Grey Team. They are now part of a joint UNSC Swords and Helios group assigned to patrol the Joint Occupation Zone after the events of Halo Envoy. What are you guys doing? Sorry, not you guys, but these guys in the Warthog. Alright. So, moving on. Supreme Commander asks, what kind of a weapon do you want to make a first... Okay, yeah, let me repeat myself. What kind of a weapon do you want to make its first appearance in a Halo game altogether? The Curved Blade or the Burn Blade. Those were both predominant in Sangheili culture, as they are both the precursors to the Energy Sword. I would very much like to see a kind of an ancient weapon like the Curved Blade being used as a kind of like a dagger sort of a thing. And Curved Blades, or Burn Blades, I would very much like to see make an appearance as like, I don't know, kind of like a, or maybe like, or I think a Burn Blade would make a very good kind of assassination tool, kind of like the energy daggers were used by elites in Halo Reach. Oh, hold on. All right, let me just take care of some of these dudes here. All right, so Supreme Commander asks, favorite drink of all time? Dr. Pepper. Next, Supreme Commander asks, what's the best version of every Covenant and Splinter Group vehicle we currently have knowledge of? The best version of every Covenant Splinter Group vehicle? Wraith, Ghost, Banshee, what else? Oh, why the heck did my tank flipped? Oh, sorry guys. All right. I see the Wraith, shut up. All right. All right, taking care of that. All right, shut up, you. Oh, excuse me one moment, guys. I have some laundry that I need to take care of. I apologize. This will take but a few moments. Enjoy my bedroom. Okay, I am back. I am so sorry about that, guys. All right. So, moving on to further questions. Supreme Commander asks, what are your favorite levels with elites in them? That's very easy. All the Arbiter missions in Halo 2, the Arbiter missions, or interaction with the Arbiter in Halo 3, this one specifically, and the Swords of St. Helios missions on in Halo 5. I love the St. Helios levels. They're obviously magnificent. I absolutely love them.
I count 2 scarabs. Repeat, 2 scarabs.
Oh, hold on. Whoa. Oh, hold on. But beyond that, yeah, the St. Helios missions, all the Arbiter missions in Halo 2, and also, not really necessarily with elites particularly, but I do love the Truth and Reconciliation map, in, oh no! You tricky bitch. Oh no! He disabled my thing.
First scarab's down.
Okay, moving up.
Concentrate your fire on number 2.
Okay. Moving on, moving on. Okay, now that that's all taken care of, moving on to the next question. Do you have any tips and advice for comic making? That's a very good question, actually. The best advice I can give you for making a comic is pretty much know where the story, where you're gonna have your story progressing. Character direction, motivation, make him/her likable, and pretty much make it compelling, where you can get other people to want to read more and get more into it. That's pretty much what I'm doing with War Torn. And I have seen a question early on here. Chapter 2 is still being developed in War Torn. It's just taking a lot longer than anticipated, but it is still in development. So, yes. Okay. So, Supreme Commander asks, what's your dream in life? Basically, to have my character, Nakai Vodar, pretty much canonizing in the official Halo canon right now.
A moment of safety, I loosed damnation on the stars.
Oh.
My faithful, stand firm.
Oh. Hold on. Oh, let me just get... I'll just let the parasite take care of the brutes while I answer some more questions. Supreme Commander asks, what was Nakai during the start? Where was Nakai during the start of the Covenant War in 25? In 25. At the time, Nakai was pretty much, I would say, either an obedientary or a higher ranking St. Healy within the obedientary order before becoming a general. I think it was like early in the war that pretty much got Nakai promoted to being a general. But where was he specifically? That's a very good question. And honestly, I can't really give you a definitive answer, really. As I don't really know really much beyond that. Maybe I would say, if I would have to give a close answer, maybe as a commanding, maybe as part of a Covenant fleet, maybe as a second in command of a vessel, maybe. Like I said, I honestly have no idea if I'm to be perfectly honest.
How could I have known the parasite would follow? Undoubtedly, this is the heretics doing.
No, it's not. Truth. Leave us alone.
Clear evidence of treachery long hidden.
Oh, you're one to talk, Orcasto. Shut up. All right. Moving on. What is the most practical weapon in all of Halo, in your opinion, from every faction? The most practical weapon for the UNSC is obviously the shotgun. For the Covenant, maybe carbine, or hell, the fuel rod. What else? For Prometheans, I would say the light rifle. Take care of this chieftain. Ah, okay, let's see this chieftain become a flood now. Ha 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 ha. Okay. But as to other practical weapons, for the Banished, I would say the soccer rifle, maybe? Or the skewer. I think that's it for the main factions, really. Okay, pausing so we can scroll on ahead and get some more questions answered. All right. Okay, Supreme Commander asks, what's your favorite meat from animal? No clue.
So far we
Maybe
are the
liver?
path. Astray
Maybe?
to hear the clumsy
I have no idea.
Know this, my brothers. They
So
may
Alistair
fly
asks,
away with their
how
tribe
dangerous
of
would it
bones,
be if
but they
the
will
Flood
not stop
infected a
the
Jedi or Sith? I would say not really, considering the fact that the Force kind of works with an individual, not really a parasitic life form like the Flood. Really, I don't think it would really work like that for the Flood. Oh, what are you doing, Pure Form? What are you doing? You're like moving around all impatient like. We get it. You want to consume everything. We get it. All right. All right. So, Supreme Commander asks, was Oni aware of the heretical movement in the Covenant? If they did, would or did they ever use them against the Covenant? Could Cesar Refume become one such thing? I think Oni knew there was some dissension within the Covenant. She knew that there was obviously discontent with brutes and elites. Obviously, that's why Veronica Dare said it's classified when Buck saw several dead elites with in New Mombasa. I think Oni was very aware of like discontent within the Covenant, within selected species. But I don't think they knew about any specific heretical movement like Cessa's faction. I think they had a strong guess that there was growing discontent within the Covenant. Oh, hold on. Ugh. Okay, hold on. Let me just take care of this one dude. Okay, there we go. All right, so Supreme Commander asks, do the swords have their own Oni? Did the Covenant have such organizations by any chance? Excuse me. The Swords of St. Helios, I don't think they have any, like, special ops contingency branch, kind of like Oni. But I do think the Covenant did have something similar like that. Like the Ministry of Anticipatory Security from Broken Circle. And beyond that, I think, honestly, I don't know if they had like any spy divisions other than the Osunas. And maybe the Silent Shadow would categorize in something kind of like similar to Oni. I honestly have no idea about that, honestly. But they did have some sort of intelligence bureau, like I said, the Ministry of Anticipatory Security. But in Broken Circle, they were quickly disbanded after Mackenzie Scriabin's mission to John Deere Quam. Oh,
I'm a thief, but I keep what I steal.
okay. We get it, Cortana. You're messed up right now. Okay. Moving on. Okay, so Nomad Galio asks, does Nakai have a command shuttle? I don't think so. I mean, it's possible. I mean, I might retcon that later on, moving on, but at the moment, I will say no. Hold on. Just breeze on through these flood spores here, or flood corrupted forms, or what the heck they're called. Okay. So, Supreme Commander asks, the war beginnings. Who was the superior fighter on each battlefield in space, in the air, and on the ground?
What do you see?
In space, the Sanshayum definitely had the Dreadnought, so I will have to say they had the superior in space and in air, honestly. Because the Dreadnought was pretty much indestructible, really. But on the ground side of things, I would say the Sangheili kind of dominate that, because they were martial warriors. They were bred for war. They lived for combat. So I would say for the war beginnings, the Sangheili definitely had the advantage for ground operations. Oh, there's Installation 08. Or 09, I think it's called. Whatever. There's so many Halos right now. I've lost count. Okay. Wait. Supreme Commander asked a question about the ORS, which I already answered. So let's move on to another one of his questions. How do you think the Needler... Oh, hold on. Let me just pause this ad. How do you think the Needler and, to that extent, the Neil rifle work? What propels the shards of Blemites and has them home in? I don't think we know about that, honestly. Honestly, beyond the fact that needles hone in on their targets, I don't think there's much knowledge that we have on the specific grindings of the Needler and Neil rifle, really. Okay, so Prelate Bard asks, how do you think a Neil grenade would work if that was ever a thing? I honestly think it would kind of like... That's actually a very good question, actually. I don't think I can really give you a definitive answer for that one, Prelate. Oh, come on. Oh, jeez, I hate fighting the flood. I know everyone likes the flood, but I don't like them. Ah! So annoying. Okay. Let me just pause so I can scroll on to more questions. There's a lot of questions, guys, by the way, guys. Okay. So, Supreme Commander asks, what are the best parts about the Sangheili culture? Very simple, actually. The Sangheili culture is all about honor, about a warrior needing to prove themselves, and not, like, inherit anything. They gotta earn their titles, their ranks, their honors, really. Honor isn't... To quote Locke from Halo 5, honor isn't given, it is earned. That's pretty much the basics on Sangheili culture. It's a meritocracy, really. Alright, moving on. So, Prelate Bard asks, what Covenant species do you want to see explored more in the future?
Enemy, why have you come? I offer no forgiveness. A father's sins cast to his son.
Okay. Sorry for the Grave Mind interrupting us. As to other lore on specific Covenant races, I would honestly like to see... As I was saying, I would like to see expansive stuff on the Kigyar, Ungoi definitely, and honestly, I would very much like to see stuff on the like Golo, because we really don't know much about them really. Beyond simply that they're a worm-like hive, really. But oh, come on. Ah, come on. Die already. Okay. Okay. Chen asks, what's Nakai's views on human books, or say novels or fantasies? What would his favorite human novel? What would be his favorite human novel? I would say any historical human books really would be his favorites, really.
Stolen thoughts and
But
memories.
specifically, I think he would particularly like Homer and
Perhaps a part of her remains.
okay. Back to what I was saying. I basically think he would be very much interested in historical text, really, beyond like fantasies and other sorts of novels. All right. So Alistair asks, what aspects of Halo Combat Evolve Anniversary and Halo 2 Anniversary do you think should have been improved? For Halo CEA, I think the one thing they needed to improve on was the lighting. I think it kind of detracted the atmosphere that the original game had. And for Halo 2 Anniversary, I'm not sure. I think if I had to say anything, I would say make like specifics about like what I'm not really sure really about Halo 2 Anniversary really. I think make their Halo 2 Anniversary's multiplayer kind of fit also with the campaigns, because they feel more detracted to Halo 4, if that makes sense. But beyond that, I don't think there's really anything else I can say about Halo 2 Anniversary. Ooh, right. Ooh, just gonna hide here while I answer another question. Oh, Supreme Commander asks, has anyone found Mithrilian yet? No. Ro Barutami tried to find the Forerunner homeworld, but he died before he could see that out. Oh. Oh, jeez. Okay. Jeez. Don't you come here. Don't you come here. Don't you come here. Okay. But yeah, Ro Barutami tried to find Mithrilian, but he died before he could ever see that carried out in Halo Reach. But beyond that, no one really tried to find the Forerunner throne world. Oh. Okay, hold on. Whoa.
You like games? So do I.
Okay, hold on. Oh, jeez. I hate these things.
Just my mother's shadow. Don't look at me. Don't listen.
Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez. This is one of the reasons why I hate the flood. Hold on. Sorry. Okay. I gotta persist through these flood forms before I ask more questions or answer more questions. Oh, Jesus. Jeez. Jeez. I'm gonna die in a minute. Oh my god.
Time has taught me patience.
Yes, we get it.
Basking in new freedom. I will know all that I possess.
Okay, we get it. You're the primordial. You're really pissed at Forerunners. We get it. Alright. So, Prelate has asked, have you heard of the Iron Lung? Yes, I have, and I'm not a fan of it. Okay, moving on. Generic Sangheili asks, when is the next War Torn coming out? It's still in development. Like I said earlier, it's taking time, but it is still in development right now. So I only ask you be patient. Okay. So let me just scroll on down so I can answer more questions. All right. Supreme Commander asks, your opinions on Rafume's rebellion. It was pretty noble. I think had Rafumi told Fel what he learned from 343 Guilty Spark, I think it could have pushed the Arbiter to openly question the prophets. But in the end, it did its job. It pretty much helped spark the Great Schism. It helped pretty much the Sangheili leave the Covenant. Oh, hold on. Oh my god, there's so many of these things. Oh, just freaking die already. Oh my god. Oh my god, I hate these things so much. Hold on. Oh, jeez. All right. Moving on to Brutus, Lord of the Nile. Hold on. Brutus, Lord of the Nile asks, did the Sangheili have archers in the past? I mean, it's possible they definitely... it's not out of the question, obviously. At present, we don't know of any archer types. I think we do know that the precursors of the plasma casters were like... The precursors to the plasma casters have been like crossbows of a kind. So yeah, like it's definitely possible that the Sangheili had archers before then. Okay. Supreme Commander asks, was there some animals on Sanghelios that gave the idea of active camo for them? I mean, I don't think so. I don't think there's ever been mention of those guys, of those types. Oh.
I have seen your future and I have learned.
Submit! End her torment and my own!
Thank you for the interruption there. But I don't think there's any specific animals that inspired the active camo. I mean, there certainly could be certain aquatic creatures or what is it? Or some landmass chameleon type animals that might have inspired the active camo. It's definitely possible. But I think the active camo has been more of a San Shayum creation, I think. Oh, and hey, look here. Got some Jirohane skulls. I honestly didn't notice them until now. Oh, making new discoveries every day. Okay, moving on to Brutus. Since Sangheili can't really blow... Hold on. Since Sangheili can't really blow, how do they signal their army or give warnings since it seems that they don't use war horns? I have no idea. They probably have some like signal flare or some kind like that, maybe. Honestly, I have no idea about that, honestly. Okay. Supreme Commander asks, if you had to redesign the plasma rifle and pistol, how would you change them? For the plasma rifle, I would have it for the plasma rifle, I would honestly have them have their recharge time be longer, like they wouldn't, it wouldn't overload, it wouldn't overheat a lot. It's overheat time. I think that's a better word of saying. I would change the overheat time where it wouldn't be so quick to overheat. And as for the plasma pistol, I would add more of a rapid fire mode for plasma pistol rather than just single pew 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 shots, really, and one overcharge. Kind of like the bolt shot in Halo 4. Oh, hold on. Ah, come on. Oh, just die already. Oh my, die already. There we go. Okay, moving on to other questions. Brutus asks, should there be a rapid-fire, high-velocity plasma rifle? Maybe something resembling an SMG or for close quarters? Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing something like that. Kind of like what I just said for the plasma pistol. But yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing a rapid-fire plasma rifle. Yeah, my tongue can't work today. Right, so Supreme Commander asks, was any of the glass planets used by the Covenant when they are defeated? Yes, I do believe there have been worlds that the Covenant have used as, staging outposts. In Halo Silent Storm, Nizak Kevarosi, the commander of the Fleet of Inexorable Obedience, he wanted to use Biko as a ship repair facility that was until the humans destroyed their orbital stations, which led them to be super pissed.
No more sadness, no more anger, no more envy.
You will show me what she hides, or I shall feast upon your bones.
Anyway, as I was saying, did the Covenant colonize planets during the Human Covenant War? I don't believe so. I don't believe they have colonized planets during the war. Definitely after the war. Definitely before the war. But I don't think they colonized a planet during the war. I think they were more focused on destroying human colonies rather than building more.
This is UNSC AI serial number CTN-0452-9. I am a monument to all your sins.
Anyway. Okay. Supreme Commander asks, how devastating would a Covenant ship be to a fleet if it had... Okay. How devastating would a Covenant ship be to a fleet if it had forward-facing glassing beams? Pretty terrifying, really. It would pretty much glass pretty much the entire fleet. Oh, hey, Cortana. I see you, Cortana. I'm just gonna back off here. Oh my god. Why am I seeing more visions of her? Okay. But yeah, I think if a single Covenant ship had a forward-facing plasma beam, or glassing beam, I think it would be very devastating to pretty much any fleet out there, really. Though it's more used as a ground offensive weaponry, really. Okay. Just gonna pause so I can move on to Doraldama's questions, shall we? And he's got a lot of them. He's becoming the new Supreme Commander right now with questions. Do we know the usual size of a Jirohane pact? 2. What's your favorite Jirohane weapon design, lore-wise, and a combination of both? And number 3, for Halo Infinite, if you could only add one enemy type back from the previous installments from the series into the mainline and sideline stories, what would it be and why? Be it vehicles, species, or specific unit types. And number 4, we see 343 wants to add an ambient life in. Okay, let me say this one again. Number 4, we see 343 wants to add ambient life to CE. Do you think they could use what they learned to help improve Infinite? And number 5, what are your thoughts on some of the recent Canon Fodder articles, specifically the Cutting Room, and most recently about the ships in Broken Circle? Okay, so as to your first question, Doral, we don't really know much about brute pack sizes, but I think it's safe to say it's like kind of like a tribe size, kind of, or at large, it would be kind of like the size of a tribe. At least it would kind of like a unit, kind of like a lance. But beyond that, that's my honest to God guess. All right, hold on. Let's free Cortana right now. All right, so I can get this. Okay, there we go.
There's 2 of us in here now, remember?
Yes, I know Cortana. Okay. So your second question, my favorite weapon from brutes, I would say the brute shot.
Get me
As
out of
both-
this place. I don't want to stay.
I think the brute shot is my favorite design-wise. Lore-wise, I would say the spiker rifle. And combination of both, good question. I think the gravity hammer. Oh.
Now, at last I see. The secret is revealed.
And what secret is that? I still don't get this secret plan that's going on here. I have no idea. And to answer your question, Christian, yes, I do believe Halo will get better. It will get worse before it get better, but it will get better. I don't think Halo is going to go downhill. Like I think it's going to be with Infinite. It's going to be like MCC. Like it's bad now, but it will get better. But back to the main questions. If I could bring back any specific group from or vehicle or enemy type from any of the other previous installments, I would honestly bring back the Silent Shadow from the ancillary material from like Headhunters, the comics, and other stuff. I love the Silent Shadow. They look pretty cool, and I would like seeing more of them. Really. Okay, so number 4, I think they could, if they do bring ambient life in CE, I think they could definitely learn to put in like the deer and rhino like aliens that we saw in Halo Infinite's teaser into the game. I think they could do it, really. And as to your 5th question, I think the Canon Fodder articles have been good. A little short for my liking, but still good. And I love the lore behind the new ships that we saw on the cover of Broken Circle, that they're basically earliest Covenant warship types that different uses rather than like what we know now, like from like they have their multiple uses. Oh my god, these freaking things. Oh, just die already. Okay, I'm high on here. Okay. Okay, so Doraldama has another question for us. What are your thoughts on Doral and Asum Umdama? I think they're fine, really. They're I think we need more books to explain their relationship, because in Legacy of Onyx, they were described as more of an antagonistic brotherly pair, that they kind of like disagreeing brothers with different ideologies, but there's not really much to forward their complexities, if that makes sense. I do like Asum and Dhamma's pacifist approach, and seeing as it comes from a genuine hatred of war, given the fact that it took the life of his mom. And pretty much just pitting his own brother against him. But like I said, I want more books to explore these specific characters in any sequel books to Legacy of Onyx. Oh, hold on. Oh. Hang on. We're not done. Wait here. Take care of some of these dudes. Die. Oh, how are you not dead? I'm stabbing you numerous times with the sword. All right, you know what? There we go. Okay. Second question. Follow-up question to that. What are your thoughts on Asum and Doral's designs in the Halo Encyclopedia? They look kind of lazy to me. Their designs in the encyclopedia, they're just kind of, like they don't really flow with me really. Like for example, Doral and Dhamma's armor is supposed to be like an ancient armor found from the storerooms of the state of Ontom, but it's just a redesign of, it's just a different color of Jules' armor, really. So it's not really that big of a fan. And Asum is just a textless, armorless Halo 4 Elite. So it's just,
You heard it, Chief.
there's nothing really much to say about it, really. Oh, jeez.
Destroy the flood once and for all.
Okay, where do I go? Okay, I think I know where to go. Okay, moving on. Ugh. Okay, so next question from Doral. Hold on. Let me pause so I can scroll on down. Okay. So Doral asks, what exactly is a war chief within the Banished, and how many of them do exist at a time? If I'm correct, Atriox has a war council of those. You are correct. War chiefs are basically Atriox's most senior lieutenants and his most trusted advisors. They pretty much act as Atriox's enforcers, hand, you name it. Like Escharum, like they're like the second in command of the Banished, and there's a entire council of them that basically any brute chieftain aspires to be, really. Oh. Try to escape here.
Analyzing the route ahead.
Oh, I'm stuck.
Just keep going. I'll update your HUD as quickly as I can.
Where is it? Where's your update, Cortana? There it is. Okay. Okay, moving on. All right. Second question from Doral. Tips on writing and developing interesting Covenant and Banished OCs. Just have fun with it, really. Just in my experience, I like having them be as canonically authentic to the story of Halo as I possibly can. But if you want to be creative with your dudes, go ahead, be creative. But beyond that, like I said, have fun, go nuts. Oh, hold on. Screw off. God, I hate these things. Oh, how do I get out of here? Okay, moving. Okay. Number 3. What are some aspects of either of? Okay, hold on. What are some aspects of either the lore of the Covenant or Banished would you like to see more of? I'd like to see more of the Fringe and less talk about the Covenant races such as the Legolo explored. I would very much like to see the Legolo explored more. And obviously the Fringe. And I think I would like to see more of the internal, like, political structure of the Banished, really. We don't really know much about their inner structure beyond what the encyclopedia says, and it says a lot about them. And I would honestly like to see how their structure really works as a command structure. But, yeah. Okay. Generic St. Healy asks, what are your thoughts on the attempts by 343 to replace the plasma rifle? I mean, personally, I'm not a big fan. I've always loved the plasma rifle, and while I do like the storm rifle and the pulse carbine, I don't know. I just would love to see the plasma rifle return in Infinite or in any other game that they choose to make. I don't know. It's just to me. And Generic St. Healy asks again, what happened to the podcast? Personal life, really. Just a lot of life things got in the way, and myself and the other dudes such as Draco and Thesk have like their own things going on right now, so that's pretty much sums up what happened. Alright. Okay, moving on to the next question. Prelate Bard asks, least favorite Covenant ship? My least favorite Covenant ship. That's a very good question. Oh, the CRS class, like, cruiser. I just think it's kind of like a weaker version of the Halo, of the CCS ship, and honestly, it's just, to me. Alright. Prelate Bard asks, what does Nakai think of Doisek's destruction? Would he feel sorry for the brutes? Yeah, I could definitely see Nakai feeling sorry for them. He still doesn't trust the brutes, but he doesn't particularly hate them. He just has he just doesn't quite trust them as much, really. So, he would definitely feel bad for the brutes losing their home. As bad as what the Jirohane did during the Great Schism, I don't think Nakai would have liked the fact that they lost their home. Alright. Brutus, Lord of the Nile, asks, what does Nakai think about the rest of the Sangheili colonies? Shouldn't the swords be concerned that some of them may potentially be defenseless against both the Created and the Banished? And how powerful are the swords of Sanghelios? Can they really be able to fight a war? It seems like the Civil War took a toll on them, and not sure how many clans have joined the swords or the Banished. I think Nakai respects all Sangheili colonies because they're both founded by Sangheili. He has no particular prejudice against a specific colony, really. I guess except for any that joins like Covenant groups, really. And I think the swords should be worried about the Banished's rise to power, seeing as they are obviously a threat. And I think the swords saying despite the Civil War, I think the swords saying those can win a war. They very much winning so many victories against their own clans. I think they could really be up against anyone, really, like the Banished. And the Arbiter, before the end of the Covenant, he was a brilliant tactician like Atriox. So I think if Atriox and Thel went head-to-head in combat, I think they would both have difficulties crushing the other.
Let's find the control room.
Okay, Cortana, I'm answering my fans' question. Shut up. All right. So, Supreme Commander asks, do the Covenant and the Remnants have their own cryopods? If so, what can you tell? I don't think the Covenant have any cryopod technology, really. The UNSC does that. I don't think the Covenant does. Okay. Moving on. Just going to pause here so I can scroll on ahead. All right. Brutus, Lord of the Nile, asks, does the Covenant need to go into hypersleep when they go through slip space? No. I don't believe they do. They just go through it normally like anyone else. All right. Supreme Commander asks, do you think the Arbiter has some backroom dealings with Oni that we don't know about? No. When the Arbiter met with Spartan Locke, he was very skeptical of him, considering the fact that he was Oni. So, and he had some mistrust with him, given his previous affiliation with Oni. So, I don't think the Arbiter would be very fine with Oni at all, really. All right, hold on. All right. Shut up, Gravemind. I hate you. I'm glad that the Flood are no longer part of Halo now. I know some of you might be mad about that in chat, but I just don't like the Flood. Oh, hold on. Let me take care of some of these Flood dudes. Nah. Alright. I'm gonna move off to the side here while the Arbiter takes care of these dudes. Okay. Tekas asks, do you know okay. Don't know if this has been asked before, but what do Sangheili mercenaries in Infinite spend their money on? Also, the Kigyar, as they only work for money and other things they value. What do they do with it? Can it be Sangheili spending it for women, booze, and other stuff for high life? Honestly, we don't know what the Sangheili and Kigyar use with their money. I think the Kigyar pretty much cultivate their wealth as, like, symbols of status. Kind of like Sangheili do for honor. But beyond Sangheili, I think they would use their wealth for, like, ships, weapons, recruiting more soldiers for their clans. But beyond that, I don't think they do, like, any acts of frivolity, like booze drinking or women or anything like that. At least to my knowledge, I don't think they do. Screw off. Oh, hold on. Alright, Felt. You take care of these guys. Alright. Okay, so... Alright, Supreme Commander asks, if you became the Arbiter, how would you react? If you became the Arbiter, how would you react to that? And how would you do your suicidal mission? I think I think he's referring to during the line of Immaculate Succession type Arbiters, and I think Nakai wouldn't be very... I think he would want to regain his honor, but I don't think he would particularly be fond of the idea of being disgraced in the eyes of his people. And like Sessa Rufumi asked, no Arbiter has a role that they specifically choose to gain redemption. They belong to the Hierarchs, and if the Fel was being sent to take care of Sessa or retrieve the Sacred Icon, I think Nakai would have been tasked to do the same thing if the role was on him. But I don't know. Oh, hold on. Hang on. Let me pause so I can answer more questions. All right. So, Izo Tazam asks, oh, hold on. That's not really a question. Okay, Supreme Commander asks, when you first saw Halo, were you blinded by its majesty? No, I wasn't blinded. I was a bit paralyzed, though. And a little dumbstruck, so... Yeah. Okay. Okay, Supreme Commander asks again, what weapon systems would you love to see made with Covenant tech? A shotgun. I would very much like to see a Covenant shotgun. Maybe kind of like their version of a Scorpion tank. I wouldn't mind seeing something like that. With like a Scorpion cannon. Really? That'd be interesting. Okay. Hold on. Oh, let's take care of these guys while the Sentinels take care of these dudes. Just gonna hide here. Okay. Sipmaster Tyra asks, does the Covenant have underwater bases / facilities? If not, it would be cool if they had some. I think they did have an underwater facility because I do know they encountered one of the Covenant fringes, the Dazreem, that were aquatic creatures. I think they might have established some sort of like underwater facility there, and I distinctly remember there was an underwater Covenant map being developed during the days of Halo 4, but I don't think they were. And that was like an unused project. So at present, I would say in total, yes, there are Covenant underwater bases, but not many as we know right now. All right, hold on one moment. Let me just let these dudes take on the flood while I scroll down and answer more questions for you lovely people of the Vodar clan. Okay. Oh my god, Doral, you are becoming Supreme Commander right now. Jesus, man. All right, so Doral asks, what is nanolaminite specifically? We do know that ship hulls and Sangheili armor are. We do know it was used for ship hulls and Sangheili armor. But what is it specifically? I don't know. I don't know much about it really. Beyond the fact that it was used for Sangheili armor and ship hull, I think we do know that it was mined, like one such colony was mined for something like that. The planet Krek. But beyond that, there's not really much we know about nanolimonite, really. And his second question, did the Covenant had calendars? I'm aware that the ages went through, but did they had like months, years, dates, and all that stuff? They did had a battle calendar, as it was shown in Halo Silent Storm and Halo Oblivion. It's very confusing, though. We don't really know, like, the specifics between cycles and units, as in terms of, like, months, days, like, time frames. It's very confusing. Like, I think we really need a definitive, like, calendar system for the Covenant in some media. But at the present, they do have a battle calendar, but the full specifics on it is just unknown to us right now. But we do know that cycles is like years for the Covenant. At least that's what Broken Circle made out to be. Okay. His third question is, if you had the capability to change a part of the Covenant and the Covenant Remnant / Banished lore, what would you change? Good question, actually. I don't know. I honestly don't know what I would change for the Covenant and the Remnants. Honestly, I have no idea, really. For the Banished, I would very much like to see, if I were to change anything for the Banished, I would like to see them emphasize more with human recruits, seeing as there are humans in the Banished, albeit a few of them now, given what happened with Doisak. But I would like to see, like, Banished enemies at all moving forward, like, being more present in books and all that stuff. I would very much like to see that.
Open the damn door.
Of course, Remnant.
Okay. And following on to that question, he asked, if you had the opportunity, what would you expand upon lore-wise? I would expand more on the ancient Sangheili,
Was that the
an-
monitor?
the ancient Sangheili lore, like with before the war beginnings. And I would like to explore more about the Arbiter's style of leading the Swords of St. Helios and the his Grand Council of Chitons, as we do know that the swords were governed by a Grand Council of these guys. But beyond that, we don't know much about their internal politics and all that stuff. Either beyond just like the fact that it was really troubling for the Arbiter to maintain his peace with the other clans. Okay, so his fifth question is, hold on. Oh, hold on. All right. Yes. Precursor, shut up. Okay. So his fifth question is, while we know the Banished and presumably the Jerohana in general have their own version of Sangheili dialect as seen as Halo Infinite, what do we know anything else about it? In Rubicon Protocol, it's stated that the Banished use a version of Sangheili language in the Banished, but its dialect is heavily Jerohana influenced. So that's pretty much what we know much about Sangheili language in the Banished. Okay. Let me just pause so I can answer more of his questions. Oh my god, this guy again? Sorry guys, there's this freaking dude on freaking spamming in the chat again. It's like a lot the other time before. Ugh. I hit it, so hopefully we won't see more of that in the live chat. I apologize again for that. Okay, so Doraldama asked, 1. Regarding recent leaks about Infinite, what is your opinion on the Crusher mini-boss as a wildlife enemy? Looks fine. Like, it kind of looks like the Guta. Like, I really don't have any bad things about it, really. It looks fine to me. His second question is,
I'm tracking additional dispersal pods.
his second question is,
Chief, Arbiter, let's move.
hold on. Okay, hold on. His second question is, for below, you push the Endless to the side to give the Banished full spotlight. Okay, hold on. TLDR for below. You push the Endless to the side to give the Brutes a full spotlight. You should start on Infinity and carry on through Infinite with stuff 343 promised with all... Okay, that's not really... Oh no, it is. With all the stuff 343 promised with all the Banished cut content and maybe the Flood. Do you prefer base campaign or this? I prefer the base campaign. Like, I have no problem with the heavy emphasis on the Banished and a little bit on the Endless. I have no problem with that really myself, but that's just my opinion. Yeah. Okay, so Superbove TV asks, if Nakai were ever incapacitated. Okay. If Nakai was ever incapacitated in some way, who would lead the clan in his absence? Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. I know what you're going about, that Super Bro. Don't think about it. I'm the Kaidun. Don't even think about it. But as to your question, to your serious question, if Nakai was ever out of commission, I think the clan would fall under Festeram, seeing as he is Nakai's second in command. Okay. All right. So Doraldama asks, do you think Flip-Flop is the best character? Do you think Flip-Flop is the best? Oh my god, I can't speak right now. I apologize, guys. Do you think Flip Flop is the best character and should be canon, Nakai? Yes, he is. Yes to both. He was funny in those little comic stuffs that 343 gave us last week, and I honestly loved to pieces on that little guy. And I would very much like to see him canonized as a grunt emissary / arms dealer. I mean, who wouldn't be? I love those little grunts. Okay. Defiant Xeno asks, what? Okay, hold on. Defiant Xeno asks, Nakai, what is your reaction when Cortana destroyed Doisak? In real life, I was really shocked when Doisak got vaporized. I was not. It's very sad, despite everything the Brutes and the Banished have done. No one really should just have their homeworld destroyed and blowed up. And for Nakai, I think it's kind of similar, really. He, as much as he despises what the Brutes did during the Great Schism, I don't think he would ever want anyone's people to lose their home.
Do I take life or give it? Who is victim and who is foe?
It's trying to rebuild itself on this ring.
Hurry! Control room's close.
Okay, so his second question is, and why is the Banished Brute OC Captain Palladius always so mean and aggressive? Bro, he's a Banished Brute captain. They're always mean and aggressive. That's the whole shtick with the Brutes and the Banished. They're always like that. Okay, so pausing ahead so I can scroll on down. Answering some more questions before I move on to fight Guilty Spark. Oh, hold on. Okay. So Thula asks, thoughts on what happened to the Banished now that Escharum is gone and Aatrox is weird MIA status? Do you think they'll start infighting because of the power vacuum of the power vacuum Chief created? Yeah, I think there's definitely going to be infighting within Banished clans. But when Aatrox shows up, they're definitely going to fall into line. But at the moment, I think there will be some infighting with Banished dudes moving forward. Okay. So Ben Breakfast asks, do you think the Swords of St. Helios would fit into the storyline after Halo Infinite? And do you think Selenion will return to become the next big Covenant type threat? To your first question, Ben, they could, if they joined forces with the UNSC to find the Infinity and Zeta Halo. I mean, given the Arbiter's history with Halo and the Master Chief, I mean, it's definitely possible. I mean, given if we ever get any insight in Halo Outcast, it might shed some light on the possibility of Thel coming into Infinite in a DLC. It's possible. And Selenion, like I said earlier, yeah, I think he could come back as a big Covenant threat, but I don't think he'll ever show up in the games. I think at best he'll show up in a book series, or and I'm going to be a little generous here, he might show up in a comic. But I'm not going to hold my breath on that. But, yeah. Okay, so Doraldama asks, so I talked to a friend, and I was wondering if you have some thoughts on the same. Comparing Halo Infinite and Rubicon Protocol feels almost like two completely separate things, as we both missed the brutality of the old Halo. As Infinite was compared to Rubicon Protocol and the previous installments, feels tamed in comparison due to the lack of blood, violence, and the other aspects of the Halo game. As I said before, I think Halo has always been lenient with gore and bloodshed. Like in this game, it's the only reason it got an M rating was because of the Flood. That said, however, I I can't fault you for thinking that Rubicon Protocol and Infinite are two separate things, given how brutal Rubicon Protocol was described out to be for the Banished and the entire war on Zeta Halo. Yeah, I do agree that they, like, in terms of tone and atmosphere, it is two completely different entities. All right. So Armageddon asks, what if your OC... Okay, hold on. So Armageddon asks, what if your OC was part of the Banished? He would never be part of the Banished. Armageddon, never. He is too much honorable for that, for those pack of marauders and savages. No. Okay. Defiant Xeno asks, to Vodar, is Inca Saham, Stormcutter, Heresy Sorrow, and Rithkul's ship the Mercy Dagger at Zeta Halo if they were there for the rest of the Banished? Their ships, I mean, it's possible they're in Zeta Halo. It's not impossible to think that. Ah, come on. Chicas.
No pleasure in doing what must be done.
Shut up.
You do not deserve this ring. I have kept it safe. It belongs to me.
No, it's not. You're crazy. All right.
Kick his ass.
Oh no, Johnson. No. Okay.
You cracked my case.
Shut up. Shut up. Die already, so you can come back and be saved by Ryan Forge's crew. Okay. That's taken care of. Okay. Moving on to Hold on. I'm going to pause this so I can scroll on and move on to more questions. And also, before I continue, I will say that once I get to the warthogs of this level, I think they'll cover the rest of this live stream, because I don't want to drive all the way and answer questions at the same time. It will just be way too chaotic on my part. So once we get to the oh, what happened to my shotgun? But yeah, after we get to the at the warthogs at the end of this level, I think that'll be end for the stream. But I'll try to answer as much questions as I can in Discord. And like I said, guys, in YouTube, if you want to have your questions answered for the future, go into Discord. It is in the Discord link is in the description below, and just join up and submit your questions to the Q&A submissions in the community section. Okay, so moving on, let's go on to Doraldama, shall we? Okay, what do you think of Halo 2 Anniversary style Jirohane in Halo 3 armor? And he has provided a picture, and yeah, I think it could work out in a good mix. But being as Halo 2's brutes are confirmed to be Rutals, I don't think they would particularly like being equipped with modern armor, really.
Even in death, your sergeant guides us all.
But I mean, yeah, it definitely looks good. Not all bad at all. All right, hold on. Let me just pause here so I can scroll on down more, because he provided an image and I had to scroll on more. Okay. Okay. All right. All right, so Dark Vex asks, I have a question for Nakai. What is your favorite mission when you were in the Covenant? Am I just asking this because I was in many questions and I
Find
one of my favorites.
The dawn is on the other side.
Oh, I think he's asking what is my favorite mission. My favorite mission when you were in the Covenant. Okay, the Arbiter missions, I think that's what he's asking. If not the Covenant mission. My favorite mission as I was in the Arbiter sections, I think the Great Journey. The last mission in Halo 2, I honestly love fighting Tartarus and facing off against honor guards and all sorts of enemy types, while also having elites at my side, including honor guards as well. Okay. So, to find Xeno ask, if you... To Nakai, if you could choose 5 of the Blood Stars in Halo Infinite, what would they be, and why would you keep them alive? And would you keep them alive? That's what he said. That's a very good question. I love Balcarus, Zeratus, Orkro Vagadoon, what are the names of the... Oh, Myriad, the Hunter pair, and, oh, what is that one? The one dangerous grunt. I can't remember his name. Oh, I can't remember his name, but the deadly grunt assassin type mercenary. I would definitely keep him alive. Honestly, I would keep all of them alive. They were really cool in their own books and all that stuff, and I would honestly love to see them more in future media. Oh, there's the Warthog. Okay, so I'm gonna answer 2 remaining questions from Doraldama and T Chaos before I end the live stream. All right.
There, Johnson's Warthog.
I'm gonna mark the next question for next month so I don't get confused again with my questions like I did last time. All right. Let me just pause so I can scroll on to these last 2 questions for you guys to enjoy. Okay? All right. So, Doraldama asks, 1, completely non-related to Halo, as a kid, what was your favorite cartoon show you watched if you did? Also, favorite pastime as a kid, aka arts, games, sports, etc. My favorite cartoon / show was Ed, Edd n Eddy. Oh my god, I just love that. What was the other one? Kids Next Door. I love that too. And Bed 10. I love those. They were some of my favorite pastimes. And also, I like cross country. I did cross country when I was in high school, and I haven't really gotten into it really after I graduated high school, but yeah. Okay, his second question was, I know you heard Marathon, particularly the father of Halo. Would you ever consider looking into it out of courtesy, or if you have thoughts? I have not played Marathon, and I mean, I'm not opposed to playing it one of these days. It's definitely something I would consider. All right. So for the last question for the live stream, we have T Chaos. Okay. Hello there, Covenant. Always a fan of your work. Thank you, my friend. Extremely well done have you made with your efforts in editing. Oh, excuse me. I apologize for that. Okay, now to my question. Do you think you will ever cover Promethean constructs while they were favored in the community? I still found them intriguing enemies into the war, not to mention they were among Jules Covenant for a brief time. Like technically speaking, the Prometheans were Forerunner in origin. While they were affiliated with Jules and Dhammas Covenant, they were still Forerunners. They were affiliated with the Didact, and as the channel name implies, we don't cover Forerunner stuff. So, unfortunately, while I do like the Prometheans, I will have to say no. We will not be covering the Promethean stuff. I'm sure there are other YouTubers out there that would cover them, but for the moment, no, we will not be covering any Forerunner constructs. All right, so I think that does it for today's Q&A stream. There was obviously a lot of questions here, partly because I canceled last month's stream, which is actually because of the fact that, since many of you probably have already seen, I did a big video on banished ranks, and after all that was said and done, I felt so drained doing it, and it was just so exhausting. Like, don't get me wrong, I fully love doing it. It's just, it was so draining afterwards. I need like a month to chill for myself. But I'm glad to cover all these questions today, even if I already answered a few. But I digress. So that was the Q&A live stream. If you guys haven't gotten your questions answered yet already, fear not. I will answer them next month at the beginning of October. So if you have any remaining questions, like I said, go on down to our Discord channel. Like I said, it is in the description below. If you want to join, you just need to click the link below and pretty much become a member. And also, just send over a question in the Q&A submission, and I will do my best to answer them as best I can. So, yes, that will be it for today, guys. As always, if you like all my Covenant content, click the subscribe button and hit the ring bell for any future videos that will be coming up, which, as I said previous times in the YouTube community sections, I'm going to be doing a full look in the history of the Covenant from its founding all the way to the post-war era. So keep an eye on that in the community, in the YouTube stuff. All right. Until then, guys, may the light of Urus forever guide your path. Victory to clan and kin, Covenant fans. Nakai out.